Well, Dan, we got a good look at this wall now. And as Lenny was explaining, we do have some signs of mold. This could be a lot of reasons: mold water trying to get out, trying to get in, trying to move in to dry out. But all of it didn't have a chance to dry out well enough here, so it's creating that environment. The temperature gets the right temperature and creates mold.
Yep.
And so that's what we've got seeing on the back of this. And some of these are worse than others, depending on location in the house and depending on what other environment is happening on the inside. But some of this stuff is just rotted all the way through. But this stuff is actually in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
So far.
Well, do you think part of it is because it's old growth lumber? So it probably is more.
Well, I think for most of its
durable.
life, it didn't have this insulation in it, so it didn't have a lot of time to do the rotting. So this is a good it's a good spot to talk about. Like this vapor that we're talking about.
Right.
A house can go through a lot of moisture in the cavities as long as it has a chance to dry out. This had many years to stay dry because there was no insulation. There wasn't anything keeping that moisture from moving. The insulation might be 20, 30 years old. Could be a little older, and so it's had that long a time to quote either trap. But because, as you can see, with all because it's dark. The dark color, that means a lot of air was moving in and out of this insulation.
Right.
Either upward, I think a lot of this we're seeing is going up the wall.
Yep.
Because there's room for the air to go behind the cladding.
Well, and here there's gaps between every single one of these clapboards.
Right. And we saw a place inside where we could actually see to the outside.
Yep.
And so that's what's keeping this stuff dry enough to not rot in place, because all this air movement going up. As we take some of it apart, we're seeing less dirt inside the insulation, because not all of it's going into the house; it's just going up the
But you
wall.
still notice deep in there,
Some of it's in there.
That's air movement going through the material, and that's where like cross-directional fibers with ROCKWOOL is actually going to stop a lot of that direct flow air movement. So even though we're not an airtight layer, it's going to definitely help with airflow through the material.